Alright, tonight I'm gonna tie this needle fly. I call it needle streamer, in lack of a better name. This is a fly originally made for larger saltwater species, but I crimped it a little to make it fit to sea trout and sea bass. It's a fast fly to tie, so follow on and see how I tie it. Well, the materials I've been using in this fly is, for the tail and stuff, I used white and chartreux bucktail. The flash in between is pearl flashabou from Fly-Touch Dungeon. And of course I've been using some ice, 7mm ultra ice. And I've been using some, where did I put that stuff? Flat braid in pearl to build up the body. And some white tying thread in 8/0 off-brand. And I've been using this hook with a hook gap in 13mm. And to fasten the ice the first time I use some super glue, gel type, and I'll be using, when the ice have been sticking to the hook a little better, I'll be covering it all up with some Gorilla Glue and put it on the dryer. And this is how it's gonna look when it's finished. That's all I had. So why don't you see how I tie this fly? Well, hello and welcome. Now we're gonna start tie this fly. I put a hook in the vise. The hook is about, you can see what hook gap it is. It's about 15mm, 14, 15, 13. One or the other. Okay, I put the hook in the vise. And the vise is, as always, my Dynaking indexer, and I am tying with some GSP thread, right? And I wind the thread back to about the hook bend. Okay, now the first material is gonna get on. It's gonna be white bucktail, all right? Because this bucktail is gonna support the flash, and it also gonna prevent the fouling in the hook because the stiffness in the fiber. I start with just taking off some of the longest and just make a little taper. This fly, the needle fly, is gonna be somewhat smaller because this is meant for sea trout, not the big saltwater species. We don't have that kind of species here in Norway. We have sea bass, we have sea trout. So I think about that will be adequate for sea trout. It's gonna get some water treatment afterwards, but this is gonna be okay, okay? And take my scissors and snip the butt ups, snip the butt offs. That was very strange English, guys. Snip the butt off, butts off. Okay. Well, I'm having very fun with the English today. You see now, I put on the bucktail. You can, if you want, just put a little pressure on this to loosen the pressure and just make it go around the hook. I forgot that. I'm gonna rewind and do it again. Push the bucktail around the hook. It's getting somewhere better. Okay. Was a bit too eager to get on with the tying then. Yeah, like that. That's alright. The bobbing I'm tying with today is Norway's automatic bobbin. Fantastic bobbin, if I may say so. Now I'm gonna take some flash. This is gonna be some flashaboo. Take out about I think 3 strands like that. Let's see, some of this is a bit bent. I just snip it off. I measure out. I want it to be a bit longer than the rest of the tail, so I tie it on the top and wind the rest of it backwards. I'm gonna use my scissor and just snip this baby off so it don't be way too far too long, like that. Okay, this is a fairly fast fly to tie, but there is the bottom part, you see, it's somewhat stiff. Yeah, and then I'm gonna take the top part. It's gonna be chartreux bucktail. Take out a little bundle, snip off, put it aside so you don't interfere with my tying, and measure out. I want it to be somewhat longer than the white bottom. Okay, like this. It's not very much materials goes on with this fly. Measure out and I snip it off. Take it on the top and just make it go like that and blend it with the bottom part. Way to do that is not what I'm doing now, but push it into the white bucktail on the bottom, like it surround it. It's gonna surround the white bucktail like that. How is this looking? Yeah, very nice, very nice. And I'm gonna take some glue on this. This is Liquid Fusion, the glue I'm usually uses. Now you see you have a lot of this material on this fly. Now I'm gonna take out some pearl braid. Oh, what's a bit of difficult words today. And just have to take it out from the box. I got this pearl braid in my bag here. I take out a little piece, snip this baby off and attach it onto the side like this, and wind over a little over the bucktail. I have to spin my bobbin a little. And you can take your little glue, just so this is gonna attach to the hook a little better. Take your fingers and just distribute it. It's not poison, this stuff, so well, just to make sure, I take a little half hitch and I'm gonna use this pearl braid, wind it around, use my rotation wise, go forwards like this, build a little taper on the fly. All right, make sure that everything's okay now. It looks very nice. Take your scissors, snip as close as you dare. Make some wrappings with the thread, and soon the tying will be done. Now the gluing part is going to get very important. I don't take too much whip finish because it's gonna be all covered in glue. I don't have any UV resin because I'm allergic to this stuff. So I'm gonna take the eyes now. I put it on. I'm gonna use a fairly large eye. I'm gonna place one on each side. All right. And I'm gonna take my other glue. Well, my super glue was really messed up. So I tried to just take one eye free from the paper and take some glue and put it on to the eye, on the back of the eye. This is some super glue. Just try not to get too much on my fingers. Make it go onto the fly like this. And take the other one. Take it on to the, make a little dab with the super glue onto the fly. That's the easy part. And take your eye, put it on there, and let it stay there a little bit, like that. Measure out how we want it. This eye was on the wrong. Have to take some more glue on this. Sorry guys. Little too little glue. Like that. Voila. And now it's gonna stay there and dry for some time. I'm gonna put and make it just stay there. I'm gonna take the Gorilla Glue and cover it all up. I put the fly in my dryer. I had a dryer that's going around and around, and this is gonna be very nice to have. And I'm gonna try to show you afterwards. This thing I has dried, and I'm gonna show the rest of the process. Okay, let this just dry for a minute now. All right, as you see, now the eyes have been drying some time, and I'm gonna place some Gorilla Glue on top of this and use the rotation on my eyes to make this all be a nice fly. Because this is a bit runny, it's a bit thin, this glue, so I have to prepare myself for some work by the vise today, because I'm gonna rotate this glue until it's stiff enough to make it go onto the drying wheel. See, now this fly is gonna look amazing in the water. and it's gonna be so nice to try it fishing sea trout and sea bass. And if you're not allergic to UV resin, please use that. This will make this procedure a lot easier. See now, this is gonna be very nice. Because I have this running wheel, I will always I could always make this kind of flies myself without UV resin. If you don't have a drying wheel and you're allergic, go and get one. That's my thing. See now, this fly, see the glue, it's moving around, and I'm gonna put this onto the drying wheel, and it will look like $1 million. I start the drying wheel right now, so it spins. See, I'm gonna start to get a little more curing, but I'm not gonna wait for that. I'm gonna put it onto the drying wheel right now. Well guys, the fly has been on the drying wheel for some time now. I paused the video, so just for you guys, this is the finished product. That's all I had for you tonight, and I'll happy if you subscribe to my channel. And this fly you can tie up in lots of variations. I used chartreuse and white. You can choose whatever color you want. Well, I wish you all a happy night, and please subscribe to my channel if you want. It will make me very happy. I'll be glad to comment on every comment that been placed on my channel. And well, that's all I had. Bye bye and tight lines.